Welcome to chemistry. Today we're going to be talking about Lewis dot structures. So I'm going to give you the rules for Lewis dot structures today. So let's get started. Number one, we're going to total up the valence electrons, and that is that you need to know the group number from the periodic table. And you're going to put these electrons in our bond blender here in just a second, so hold on to that thought. No, and then also, if you have a negative charge, you're going to add electrons for each negative charge you have. If you have a positive charge, you're going to subtract electrons for each positive charge you have. Okay, number two, we're going to determine the central atom, and that is the least electronegative element. That is the one that is furthest from fluorine, but it is never hydrogen. Okay, and we're going to set up our basic plus-like structure with our central element right in the middle of the plus. Okay, number three, we're going to place electron pairs between the central atom and the outside atom, and that will form a single bond. Number four, our next rule is to place a pair of electrons on the outside atoms as lone pairs, and those are called non-bonding pairs of electrons. Number five, we're going to place a pair of electrons on the central atom as lone pairs of electrons, and those are also non-bonding pairs of electrons. Number six, we're going to verify the octet rule, and that is for most elements, and then we're going to verify the duet rule, and that only applies to hydrogen only. And we're going to check for exceptions to the octet rule. That will be our next lecture, that is period 3 or greater, and boron and beryllium. Number 7, we're going to maintain an octet, and we might have to use multiple bonds. That is, we might have to use double bonds or triple bonds in order to maintain an octet for octets. Okay? Hopefully you see that bond blender in that lower right-hand corner, and we're basically going to place all our electrons in there and add electrons to our bond blender, shake it all about, and then pour them out according to these rules. Again, determine the central element, which is the least electronegative, and then we're going to place a pair of electrons between the central and the outside atoms, then a pair of electrons on the outside atoms as lone pairs, and if we have any more electrons, we're going to place lone pairs of electrons on the central element. We're going to verify the duet rule for hydrogen and the octet rule for most other elements, and then we're going to maintain an octet. We might have to use double bonds. Okay? Hopefully that worked out well for you. Look for some next lectures.